Hello all, welcome back to the BioRocks channel. In this video today we're going to learn about the other neurotransmitter that is being secreted by your pituitary, posterior pituitary lobe, actually which is being secreted by the axons, synaptic knobs or the neurons of your hypothalamus and poured up into the posterior pituitary lobe, okay? And that is none other than your oxytocin, okay? Which is otherwise being called as a love hormone, yeah, bonding hormone, or we call it as even cuddling hormone, or we call it as childbirth hormone. Okay, these are the names because this particular oxytocin is being seen usually when you have a social bonding or when you are bonded up in the relationships. Okay, so we call it as a love hormone, your bonding and cuddling hormone. But we'll be speaking about the two physiological activities that are being carried forward by the oxytocin. Okay, one being the childbirth, and the one being the other being the what you call as letting down the milk flow from the mammary glands after the childbirth when the child starts suckling up the mother's breast for the feeding. Okay, so we are speaking about the oxytocin. We all know that oxytocin is a neurotransmitter. It's a neurotransmitter produced by the neurons of your hypothalamus, and those neurons are none other than they are belonging to the parturition party parturition, milk let down, milk let down reflex center. So the neurons from this particular area of the hypothalamus are going to secrete this neurotransmitter, pour up into the posterior lobe of your pituitary gland, posterior lobe of your pituitary gland. From this pituitary gland now, they will be poured up into the blood from where it's been carried to its target tissues, one being the breast, that is going to be your mammary glands, okay, where it is going to show its action because it has its receptors, as well as it is going to even act on the uterus, okay, during the childbirth, the parturition, what we call as. Okay, children, so we now understood that it's going to be from this reflex center, the neurons pouring up this particular neurotransmitter into the posterior lobe. And from the posterior lobe, it's being poured into the blood, and they now act on these particular target tissues which are present in your mammary glands as well as uterus. So we need to remember that this particular oxytocin is going to act on positive feedback mechanism. This is important. It acts on the positive feedback mechanism. And yesterday, while I was speaking in one of the videos about the antidiuretic hormone, I spoke that ADH as well as oxytocin, both are the neurotransmitters poured by the posterior pituitary lobe into the blood, and these both are going to be the peptide hormones. Today, I'll be showing you these amino acids and what are those amino acids which vary in the ADH and the oxytocin. I spoke about the leucine and the arginine. So your oxytocin is working on the positive feedback mechanism and it's a peptide hormone. So how this is going to act and how this is going to be enabled, we'll be learning about this today. So remember children, uh, when we speak about the pregnancy, so till 7th month, okay, till the 7th month, what actually is seen is the baby's position is going to be horizontal in the uterus, okay. But now what happens is when the during the 7th month now, during the 7th month, what happens is the baby is going to just move, and the head of the baby move towards the cervical opening. So we call this as a cephalic presentation. Cephalic presentation. is nothing but now the baby is moving the head towards the what we call as the cervix, towards the cervix, to enable the free childbirth. Okay, whereas in some cases we can even see that they are going to have a breech presentation, where we can see that the baby head moves towards the chest of the mother but not towards the cervix. This is a breech presentation. It's a difficult one for having a mother having a normal delivery. So for that reason, what we usually do is we go for a C-section, which is being called as a cesarean. Okay, so this is going to happen. But now what happens is 2 weeks, 2 weeks before the birth, now what happens is there's another mechanism. What happens is the baby starts moving further towards the cervix, towards the cervix. So now what happens is in these cervix area, as a baby's head is moving, it applies pressure. So who is going to apply pressure now? It's going to be the baby's head. Baby's head is going to apply pressure on the cervix. Apply pressure on the cervix. Pressure on the cervix. So now what happens is the pressure receptors which are present in this particular area of your cervix are going to be what you call is activated. So your pressure receptors present here are going to be activated in the cervical area, and we know that the pressure receptors are nothing but the sensory neurons only. So these now what they do is they are going to send their action potentials and signaling towards your brain. Okay, and they are going to signal the brain. So now in the brain, the hypothalamus area, reflex center, hypothalamus, we spoke about the parturition and the milk let down reflex center neurons are getting activated. Now they are going to pour oxytocin into the blood. Now these are going to move towards your uterus, and now what they do is they start the uterine muscle contraction. So the uterus muscle starts contracting. But these are going to be very minute contractions. And a lady for the first time, if she's pregnant for the first time, she can actually detect the movements or the uterus contractions. She can actually feel the uterus contractions and they rush to the hospital. But these are the false labor pains. They are not the true labor pains actually. These are the false labor pains actually happening out. So now what happens is further as the uterus is contracting, now what happens? Baby is moved further down now. So now you can see how the positive mechanism is running up. Uterus is contracting. So what happens? The baby is moved further down, is moved further down. So now what happens as the baby is moving further down? Now what happens? You can see that the pressure receptors, pressure receptors of your cervix, of your cervix are more activated. So now what happens is they send more signals. The sensory neurons are sending more signals to the hypothalamus. Now what happens is the hypothalamus pours more amount of the oxytocin, which will bring more amounts of your uterus contractions. Now the uterus contractions have increased, and this is going to lead to the what you call is further production of prostaglandins in the uterus. And now these prostaglandins will bring further uterus contractions. So now the uterus contractions are being increased in a very high level. So this is going to be leading to the true labor pains, true labor pains. Now what happens is this results in the process which is being called as childbirth. It's been called as your childbirth, or what we call as parturition. So now you can see that it is just because of the oxytocin produced, we had the uterine contractions, and this increased further pressure, this increased more signals, more oxytocin, and more uterus contraction. So this is going to be a positive feedback mechanism where there is further uh, pouring of oxytocin into the blood, which is going to lead to the childbirth by the strong uterine contractions by the mother. Okay, so now the next thing that you can see is after the childbirth. Now, after the childbirth, there will be, you know that there is oxytocin in the blood, but as there is no fluid in the mammary glands here, no fluid in the mammary glands. So, though we have the oxytocin during the childbirth, so we are seeing that there is oxytocin during the childbirth, but there is no fluid in the mammary glands, so the oxytocin does not squirk out or let down the what you call is a liquid fluid flow down here, because there is no fluid in the mammary glands. So during the childbirth there is no secretions from the mammary glands. But after the childbirth, now what happens is, from the first day to that of your third day, we can see that there is a fluid which is being produced, which is going to be low in the lactose sugar, but has more amounts of water, but rich with the antibodies here. Okay, this is being called as colostrum, we are going to call. Okay, this is being called as a colostrum, on which the baby is being fed for the first time. And now what happens is, this brings a magic, because now as the baby is actually sucking up, or what we call as suckling, or she suckles the mother's breast, mother's breast, especially the nipple area. So now what happens is, these nipples are also going to have the pressure receptors now, pressure receptors. So as the baby is going to suckle the mother's, what we call is a breast, now what happens is, the pressure receptor sensory neurons are sensitized, and they send the signals to the hypothalamic area, or hypothalamus, which is going to lead to the pouring of oxytocin into the blood. Now, this oxytocin is going to help in letting the milk or the fluid to squirk out. So squirking is nothing but the let down the flow of the fluid. So now you can see that as the baby is sucking up, the oxytocin has been released, and you all know that after the childbirth, it's under the action of prolactin, actually we can see that, which is going to trigger the milk production. This is going to trigger the milk production. It is not oxytocin. Prolactin is going to help in production of the milk in the mammary glands, but the one which is going to allow the flow of the milk out of the mammary gland is going to be the oxytocin. This is very important to understand. Okay, so now what happens is, as a baby goes on suckling up, there is more oxytocin being released out. So now what happens is, children, so the condition is, the baby is suckling up, and as a baby is going to suckle, now what happens is, there is oxytocin poured up into the blood. So now this oxytocin does two functions. What are those two functions? Now we'll see them. One function is going to be, it is going to help in squirking out the milk. Okay, it is squirking out the milk from where? From the breast, or from the mammary glands. This is one action, children. And secondly, what it is going to do is, this particular one which is present, the oxytocin, what it does is, it is going to actually even help in uterus contractions. because you know that the mother has normal delivery, and you know that during the childbirth the uterus is going to grow up. Okay, the uterus, as per the size of the baby, it's going to grow up. So as it is approaching towards the what we call is a chest, now you can see that after the childbirth, because the baby is suckling up due to the oxytocin, now what happens is the uterus contracts and comes to its normal position. Okay, normal position in the abdomen now. So it comes to the normal position. So thanks to oxytocin, that as a baby, actually it's thanks to baby that as a baby suckles, the oxytocin is going to even allow the uterus to come back to its normal position in the abdomen. These are the two functions of oxytocin when the baby is going to suckle. And remember, children, this oxytocin, the more the baby is going to suckle, the more the baby and the mother are going to be, baby as well as mother are going to be bonded. That is the reason doctors do not what you call is suggest a delivered lady to feed her baby with the bottles, because it does not increase the what we call is the bonding, nor it does not squirt the milk, and it does not even help in the uterus contraction. So these are the basic things. And even remember that there are some psychogenic stimuli also, which are going to release oxytocin, and this is also going to increase further the bonding between the mother and the baby. Psychogenic stimuli is nothing but the mother starts thinking and becomes emotional about the newborn baby, feeling that the baby might be hungry, or the baby might be needing her care. This is a psychogenic stimuli. The more the baby is going to be like is going to have a psychogenic stimuli, this is also going to increase oxytocin, which will increase the baby and the mother bonding. And this oxytocin also will enable, because of the psychogenic stimuli, it will even squirt the milk. That is a thing that you can see in a newly delivered lady, that she is going to have, though the baby sleeps in the cradle, the mother starts squirting the milk out. It's just because of the psychogenic stimuli that's been run in the mother, newly what you call is a new mother who has delivered her baby. So these are the activities. But remember, children, these actions of the oxytocin are not seen in a male, because there is no uterus, nor there is no mammary glands, but yet this oxytocin has a functionality in bonding, social bonding in the males. Actually, it is also known that during the recent discoveries, that oxytocin is also actually helping in the movement of the sperms also. But basically remember that these all functionalities, being the childbirth hormone, or squirting the milk out, is going to be the action in the female. Okay, but in the males it's going to be basically being called as a bonding hormone or the love hormone. Okay, so these are the basic things, children, what I needed to speak about. Remember that oxytocin as well as your ADH both are the peptide hormones. Now what I'll do is I'll try to share my screen with you all, such that I can show few of the slides which will give you a basic idea regarding this particular positive feedback mechanism of the oxytocin. So as you can see, children, that the oxytocin here, the positive feedback mechanism, where it's being produced by the posterior pituitary lobe of your mother, it's going to stimulate the uterine contractions. It is even stimulating the what we call is placenta to make more prostaglandins, and we all know that the prostaglandins are going to bring further uterine contractions. So it is actually here prostaglandins are being produced by the placenta under the stimulation of this particular oxytocin. These are the things that you need to remember. Okay, and even you can see in this slide that even estrogen from the ovaries is going to increase or induce the oxytocin receptors on the uterus. Okay, these are the things that you need to remember. And next one, speaking about another slide that you have, is about the milk. That is, milk production is under the action of prolactin. Okay, this is important. Okay, it's by the prolactin, but whereas milk ejection or squirk of the milk out is going to be by the oxytocin, is just because the baby suckles a mother's nipple. It makes the flow of the oxytocin, increase the levels of oxytocin, which is going to help in the flow of your ejection of your milk, but it's not the what you call as prolactin. Okay, but during the childbirth it does the uterine contractions. As I told you that the basic difference between the oxytocin as well as vasopressin is going to be the amino acids. Yesterday I spoke about leucine, arginine, but you can see that children, there are basically two amino acids which are different in the oxytocin and the arginine vasopressin. One is on the third position of the amino acids. Oxytocin has this isoleucine, whereas arginine vasopressin is going to have phenylalanine as an amino acid in the third position. When coming on to the eighth amino acid, it's going to be leucine in the oxytocin, and it's going to be arginine in the vasopressin. These two amino acids are making the difference between these two peptide hormones, and their wide differences in the basic functionalities, where one is a bonding hormone, childbirth hormone, squirking hormone, whereas one is going to retain the water, help maintain your tonicity. It's just because of the basic difference of these two hormones in the third position and the eighth position. Okay, children, I hope children, now you all have understood the functions of the oxytocin. Now you will not make any mistakes in choosing up the correct answers for the options in your examinations. Okay, if you have understood the video and if you like the video, please hit the like button and try to comment in the comment section, and try to share this channel with many others too. Okay.